Josh, today we are going to make a lemonade. No big deal, let's start. So the first thing you're gonna need is about 4 lemons. And we're just gonna cut those in half. Now that we've got all the lemons sliced in half, comes the really super duper simple part, which is just to squeeze them. If you have one of these bad boys, then I would recommend using it. I'm actually going to measure this in a Pyrex, and we're just going to basically squeeze it. This might take a while. Oh no. These lemons might be a little bit too big for this. Not gonna lie. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So now that we have our lemon juice, which is clearly the key to the recipe since it's lemonade, this actually equated to about a cup of lemon juice. So first thing we're gonna do is we're actually going to take the celery and take the leaves off, and we just want the stems. That's all we want. Obviously, keep the leaves. Next time you buy some celery, next time you buy parsley, because I know what this is. Next time you buy parsley, just go ahead and remove the stems from the leaves, at least the majority of the stems. It's okay if there's a little bit left, and just separate it, you know? Store the stems in a bag and then store the leaves in a separate bag. And so now you can have the stems to use for soups, you can put it in stocks, finish sauces with it, you can put it in an herb compound butter if you're so fancy like that. Just don't throw them away because you can actually use them for a lot like this lemonade. So here's one use, and let's go. So now that we've got all of our parsley, we are ready to go. We're gonna put them in the simple syrup. And so they're kind of steep in there with the celery. Now we need a knife for this. When you're chopping these, chop them as fine as you can. I would recommend making sure that your knife is super sharp. I say that, but my knife isn't really that sharp. It could be way more sharp than it is. If you can get a whetstone, get one. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and chop it. And make sure to keep your fingers curled in because I don't want you to cut a finger off. We're gonna chop it as fine as we can go. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a ramekin here just so I can have my mise en place all good to go. And if you don't know what mise en place is, it just means everything in place in French. Ideally, you want to have your mise en place ready to go before you make a recipe. That way everything's measured out, sliced, and all you have to do is add it in one step at a time. Now that we have that, so this is about 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley stem. Now we're going to want our celery. I kind of like to cut it in half before I start slicing it just because I like to go fast and it gives me some room. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and move this. Slice this. Celery and parsley all chopped up. Celery is going to go in with the parsley because it's, you know, all going in the same hole or same pot. That's weird, I'm sorry. Ginger. This is a 2-inch knob of ginger. You know, just kind of eyeball it, doesn't need to be perfect. We're gonna actually peel it first. I like to use a spoon and just kind of run it against the ginger all the way around. We don't want any skin at all. I'm gonna cut this in half, like so. So we have 2 different pieces, and we're just gonna slice this pretty thin as well, just like pretty much the rest of our ingredients. Again, does not have to be perfect. We're gonna add that to our sort of steeping ingredients. Next, we're gonna need a pot, like so, and we're just gonna add 1 cup of water to that. Pretty simple. And then we're gonna take our 3/4 cup of sugar and add that as well. You can use any kind of sugar, it doesn't really matter. Use coconut sugar, white sugar. This is just organic cane sugar. I prefer it because the flavor is really neutral. We're going to add our several flavor components, which will be the ginger, the celery, and the parsley stems. Just add that straight in. Doesn't have to be perfect. And now we're just gonna put it on the stove on medium-high heat. And we're just gonna give this a stir, just to help kind of get the sugar going. You can see it's sort of starting to bubble here. That's good, that's what we want. Now at this point it's gonna start smelling absolutely amazing, and that is what you want. It should smell nice and gingery and a little spicy. You can smell the spice from the celery kind of coming out. All right, so it's done. It's boiling pretty hard. That's all we really want. We don't want it to go any more than that. We're gonna go ahead and take it off the heat. So as you can see, the sugar has pretty much completely and totally dissolved, and that's what you want. You have now made a simple syrup. All right guys, so it's pretty much done, the simple syrup, but the most important part is I've lidded it, so that's gonna encapsulate all that flavor, and it's still hot. I just took it off the heat, and we're just gonna let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. All right guys, so we have let this steep. I actually let it steep until it was almost cool, almost room temp. It's still a little warm to the touch, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, so let's strain it. So it's actually a pretty good idea to go ahead and just kind of press it out and get all that flavor out of there. All we need to add is a few simple ingredients. We're just gonna do about, I would say, a half teaspoon of salt. I know it seems weird, but if you think about it, just like in baked goods, you need a little bit of salt to bring out that flavor. I'm gonna add the lemon juice. Now that we've got all that, is we're just gonna add about 3.5 to 4 cups of water, depending on your personal preference. That's good. If you've got lemonade, it's pretty simple. You know, you can't really mess this up. The whole point of this is kind of making a nicer lemonade that doesn't take really as long as some other projects that you might have, yet it tastes absolutely out of this world. All right, so you did it. You made lemonade, or as I like to say, the best lemonade. I think this is a really simple thing to make, yet it has a nice complex flavor, so everyone can enjoy it. But yeah, until next time guys, cheers to myself, because I'm actually alone in here.